such a process. I was going to start when I started, but I didn't feel like it. I do my nails myself. Because I'm not going to a nail salon where they'll fuck them up and make them look stupid. I don't do that. I will not. I absolutely refuse to go to any nail parlor and have my nails fucked with when I can do them myself at home with forms and some polygel. That was fast. You're like devoted. You're like the only one that ever comes and says, hey, took you a while, but you're here. You're my favorite. Come on. God. I used to never use a full form, like ever. And now I don't know, I worked my way up because my nails were really short for the longest time. And then I'm like, just jump up a little bit. Just jump up a little bit. So I would go up a line because there's lines on them. I'll use a stiletto. See the little lines? Well, I wouldn't go no further than this one, usually. And then I went to the whole fucking form, which I never thought I would do. Never thought that I would use a full form, and the amount of polygel I have is sickening. Like, I wouldn't mind doing people's nails. You know, like the whole box is full. It's all different colors. I have mattes, glitters. But I do my own. Instead, I order the polygel and I do them myself. It's cheaper, way fucking cheaper. It's just nonsense to me to leave every 2 weeks to go get your nails done when you could do them yourself for literally a fraction of the price. I will never understand. I went and had my nails done. This is in my lifetime, from like the age of 10 to 24. Twice. 3 times. 3 times. 3 times. 3 times. 3 times. Once when I was 15. Once with my best friend at Galaxy Nails in Uniontown. And once with my girlfriend. I can't remember the name of the shop. Nails One. Nails One. In, right here in Connersville. I'm so hungry. Now I need my goddamn nail file. Of course. Always some fucking bullshit. It's been a while. I always pop them right back off. Wish there was a better way to be able to show it. I can't literally fucking have my phone like this, but I'll try. Okay. Cool. I pop them off. And I hear them again. Because the underneath doesn't always cure. My process is a little different than everybody else's, but I don't care. Because, yeah, they might look like they're done, but I can tell just by the sound that they're not cured. Yeah, you spelled it right, I think. Ginseng, yeah, he went back. He got shot at. Now, okay, anyone that knows anything about private property and posted property, we all know that it has to be posted every 15 feet. Each tree has to have spray painted purple, 2 feet above the ground, and 15 feet apart. This dude only had one sign on his basement door and one sign at the end of his driveway. Now, the actual property wasn't posted at all. So, legally, my old man wasn't in the wrong. And neither was anybody else. Because, as far as they were aware, you know, it wasn't posted. It wasn't private. So they continued to dig up the same. Well, this guy comes out, peppers my old man in the back, and my old man has had many guns pointed at his face. He's been shot at. He really don't give a fuck. So he confronted the guy, and he's like, do I have to fucking break the law to you? Do I have to call the law for you so they can tell you what's legal and what's not? Because I know. I mean, I know, you know. I'm not illiterate, you know. I'm not a fucking retard. I know the law. My mother was a state cop for Reading Police. Get out of my face. Like, try again. Well, he's like, oh, well, it's posted property and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, the fuck it's not. It is not posted. If it was posted, we wouldn't be here. Now, the law will tell you, yes, you have to have this many signs across the property. You have to do this, you gotta do that for it to technically be posted private property. Well, he didn't have any of them. None. So, if anything, this dude could have got arrested yesterday for shooting at my husband. And his fucking stupid wife is like, I'm gonna call the police. And Fred's like, I'll call them for you. Yins are gonna be the ones getting in fucking trouble, not me. Because you want to shoot at somebody because they're in your ginseng patch. Okay, for one, it's illegal for you to have your own ginseng patch. Not allowed. So we could call the game commission and have this settled, which is exactly what he said. I can call the game commission for you and they can come dig it all up. Then nobody will have nothing. Oh, that's not necessary. Exactly, motherfucker. So, they're going again. And there ain't nothing nobody can do about it until he posts his property correctly. Yeah, it's birdshot. It was birdshot. So fucking hungry. One of the worst things ever while being pregnant is being hungry. Swear. Like, it's literally painful. Like, if you don't eat, you'll throw up. Just because you didn't eat. And then your stomach hurts. Right here. Right at your diaphragm. It hurts real bad. No, he didn't give a warning. He didn't give any kind of fucking warning. At all. He just fucking shot at him. He just shot at him. And he was about, I'd say 20 feet. 30 feet. He was pretty close. Like, my old man's back was fucked up. Like, he definitely got peppered. He had fucking marks all over his back, and I'm like, you know what? I have half a motherfucking mind to go down there my goddamn self and pepper this old bastard myself. No warning. Just shot at him. I'm like, you know, right there, you could have called the fucking police. And they would have arrested him. What can I say, man? We live in Fayette County. I was mad as fuck. I'm like, who the fuck does this guy think he is? Oh, yeah, shit. I thought I'd go outside and do a 360 in the daylight. So here's our property. .360 degrees is all woods. I guess nobody believes me when I say I live in the middle of fucking nowhere. That's behind the house. Town's down that way. My old truck. Yeah, 360 woods. And here's the driveway to my house. But the driveway goes fucking another mile and a half. Oh yeah, there's the Cadillac. dirtiest Cadillac ever. I guess you really can't see it. It's filthy. It is filthy. Needs a bath. My oldest is with his dad right at the moment. He went to the junkyard. And my Ethan is right here. Huh? My Ethan. And there's the Penelope. Oh, the baby girl. Oh, the baby girl. Come here to mommy, honey. My little Penelope. My little baby girl. Want down, want some water. I stole her from my neighbor. There's like none more. There's a couple of them I wanted to snag, but these puppies are taken care of. These ones are okay. I just go down there and kidnap one, and I bring it home for the night, and then I take it back, and I kidnap another one and bring it back. Dog nap, I guess. Skyly, put it down. Bitch. I don't know why, but cigarettes just don't do nothing for me anymore. I gotta hit a straight pipe. It just hits different. Like, a cigarette is so unsatisfying anymore. Oh, baby deal. She's so whiny. Today is a very boring day. And I can tell I'm gaining so much weight in my face. Now I need to find a nail file. That's an anomaly in this house. All my shit disappears. Luckily, I keep one in my purse. Ew. Ew, no, it's in my hair. Yeah, it's just what I need. Goopy fucking glue. Ugh. And then I fucking file my nails and I glue them back on. Then I commenced actually filing the nails.
Why is you crying, Tiny?
She's so little. She's like 4 or 5 weeks old, something like that. But they're eating hard dog food and whatnot. They're still titty babies. Now this glue is gonna give me a fucking problem. Like everything else in my life. Can't nothing ever go smooth. Or the way I'd like it to. Always on some fucking dumb shit. I used to buy fucking like pre-made nails. You know how you can like get nails like this custom ordered? I used to custom make nails. I would send out shit like this. I'd send different sizes and I'd tell them to size their fingers, but it's different when you're using polygel than it is acrylic. It's a big difference. So like this, my nails are generally a 4, but I use a 4.5 because the form has to be a little bit bigger than your nail because you have to take the product that's on it into consideration, or it's just going to be flat. Like there's going to be nothing here. There's going to be no apex. You know what I mean? Probably not. I don't expect a man to understand anything about nails, but you never know. There's male nail artists out there. And for all I know, you could be one of them. Although I'm sure you're more into like mechanics and shit. Welding, whatever. I was. I was trying to get into a welding program before me and my old man got together. And I ended up pregnant. So I chose a different route and I went into the medical field in-home healthcare, in-home nursing, shit like that. Because really, like, that's where the money is. Like, that's where the money is. That's where the money's at. I try to pay attention to the comments. Yeah. No, Fayette County's pretty fucking bad. Like, seriously, go on Google, if you can, on like a computer or something. Go on Google and look up the poverty levels. Fayette County, I think, is number 3 or number 5. I can't remember exactly, but in like the list of top 10s, we're right there, like the top 5. Like, it is fucking bad down here. Crime, drugs, you know, the whole fucking works. Got some real fucking losers too. Like, oh, you think you know someone, okay? There's this guy, his name's Dustin Lilly, okay? And evidently, there was a story going around that, he brutally beat his ex-girlfriend's son. And Dustin has 3 kids of his own. You know, like, he has 3 children of his own, and he had them fairly often. Like, he would bring them up here and, you know, to hang out with me and Sheena, like, girl that used to live on the hill. She don't know more. But he would come visit us all the time. And, you know, like, we had our kids around him and playing with his kids. I don't believe he did it. I really don't. You know, like, you know how you get vibes about people, like, oh, they're okay, or I don't know about this one, we'll see. But he was just one of those, like, as soon as you meet him, you can trust him. You know what I mean? Like, he's one of those types. You know, like, didn't have a problem trusting him. And that's what really blew my mind. Like, she accused him. And he had been nowhere around this kid. Turns out, it was actually her that beat the fuck out of her son and blamed it on him. Just because he broke up with her. So you beat the shit out of your son? Because he don't want to be with you. That makes sense. Okay. I usually don't, but I might. I just love the green. Like a crocodile. It's just, I don't know, crazy. And then, somebody else that I went to school with is now in jail for murder. Never seemed like the type to fucking hurt anyone. He was always real sweet, you know. But he had a very troubled home life. I think he ended up killing his grandfather. But honestly, in my opinion, that was 100% justified. Bastard deserved everything fucking that he got. Beating on his grandma, okay. Now, his grandma was into younger men, okay. And she was in her 60s, but she did not look 60. She did not look 60. Okay. So, she had a thing for younger men, which, you know, who the fuck wouldn't? I mean, shit. If you can get some fucking young wang at 60, do it. I would, shit. Live your best life, Gil. Well, I guess, he was beating on his gram, and, I mean, you know, she was fairly active, you know, she wasn't one of them helpless, defenseless ladies. Like, she did put up a fight, but after he clocked her in the side of the head and knocked her unconscious, that's when we'll leave him nameless, but we'll call him Marcus. We'll just call him Marcus. So, Marcus decides that he's had enough of his abusive behavior. And this is the first time that he had ever seen him hit her. But this wasn't the first time that he had hit her. It just wasn't in front of Marcus. So, they got into a fairly heated argument, I guess. And that's what, like, sparked the whole thing. Because he was doing something that he wasn't supposed to be doing. Not Marcus, the boyfriend. And, oh, I think he took her car. He took her car. And, you know, she needed it. She had a doctor's appointment to go to. And it sparked an argument. Well, when he come back, the argument became physical. And Marcus had just gotten there. So he was a little clueless as to what was going on. And once he found out what had happened, obviously, like anyone would, he snapped. Well, I guess he tried to justify beating on her, like she deserved it or something. And Marcus wasn't falling for it. He's like, no, I don't give a fuck what she did. You do not put your fucking hands on a woman like that. And he got physical with Marcus. Well, little did he know, Marcus was a jiu-jitsu fighter. And he was pretty well trained, if you ask me. Because he taught me a little bit. You know, we sparred a couple times. I know karate, he knows jiu-jitsu. So we sparred a couple times, and the difference between the two is just astonishing, really. Like, you think that most fighting styles are fairly similar, and no, dude, there's a world of difference between jiu-jitsu and karate. Like, jiu-jitsu is a lot of, like, ground submission. Well, he tried to, like, justify beating on his ground. And he just wasn't fucking going for it at all. As anybody. Well, it got physical, and after he got Marcus off of him, he went back to Grandma and started beating on her. And Marcus lost his shit, and he grabbed the lamp off of the table, allegedly, grabbed the lamp off of the table and smashed it over his head to knock him unconscious so he could help his grandma. Well, police were called and whatnot. Well, I guess, like, right around that time, when the cops were getting, like, showing up, the boyfriend pulled a gun. And nobody knew that he had it. But he pulled a gun out of his glove box. Or his seat, wherever it was in the vehicle. And mind you, this is his grandma's car, too. I guess he didn't have one, but he treated her vehicle like it was his. And, after he got back from the car with this gun, Marcus was able to disarm him. You know, self-defense. Jiu-jitsu comes in handy. Well, somehow the gun discharged through the midst of him trying to disarm him, and he got shot. Like right here. So, I mean, and there was, like, I don't want to say CCTV, but I guess that's what it would be called, CCTV footage. It was a home camera. They had cameras. And they seen the whole scuffle. They seen everything. Like, the indoor cameras picked up everything that happened and showed everything that happened. And, you know, he pleaded self-defense because that's what the fuck that was. That was 110% self-defense. Well, he ended up being charged with murder. Because, unfortunately, boyfriend died. But, I mean, I don't think anybody's going to live after being shot in the throat. It's some crazy shit, man. I never would have thought. I'm like, no, there's no way he did that. Like, in a self-defense, yes, I believe that 110%, because he was not the fighter type, you know? Like, just one of them people that you wouldn't worry about. But you fuck with his family. Especially Graham, because mom and dad weren't really a part of his life. His Graham's the one that raised him, so of course, you know, he loves his grandma like that's his mother. And you see somebody hurting your loved one, what are you gonna do? You're gonna fucking go apeshit. As rightfully so. But he was charged with murder. He's still trying to fight the case now. And this is... My grandma's been gone 8 years, so 6. This was like 2 years after my grandma passed away. And I was kind of like devastated a little bit. I'm like, oh, no fucking way, bro. You know, like, no. Evidently, yes. It's just a crazy ass world that we live in nowadays, you know, like, it's sad that women don't want to go outside because men are retarded. No offense. Like, there's some real fucking winners out there that you gotta watch out for. And anymore with the fucking sex trafficking and all that other fucking dumb bullshit, you gotta watch, man. Like, don't be letting your sister, your mom, your cousin, don't let nobody walk alone. You can't anymore, because then you get abducted, raped, beat. Just a plethora of shit that could happen because you're alone. Like, it's sad that we live in a world where women can't be alone. They can't live alone. They can't fucking walk alone. They can't drive alone in their car. Like, it's ridiculous. And the police do absolutely nothing the fuck about it because they don't give a shit. If they did, they would do something about it. Like, you know, they'd patrol a little heavier in certain areas where you know that this shit has been going down, like the Walmarts. Like, you figure there'd be, at least be an officer floating around some fucking where. Nope, why in the world would we do something like that? Ugh. Take time out of our day? Somebody else I went to fucking school with, now that I'm thinking about it. Now, this kid was real sweet. There was no reason for him to be in the school that we were in, you know? Like, me, I could understand me. I fought a lot. And I didn't care. But I was troubled. Like, I had issues growing up. A lot of death, a lot of loss that I never grieved properly, you know. And it took its toll on me. And I took it out on everybody else, and I really shouldn't have, but I did. It wasn't nobody's fault. People die, you know. But anyway, the kid I went to school with, he was also the type that you'd have never looked at. Never would have looked at him. He was, 10th grade. He was in 10th grade. And, little did anybody know, he was actually a registered fucking sex offender. So, like, the school, we were in an alternative school for bad kids. Well, why they chose to send him to Colonial was beyond me. Fake-on. Colonial, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But, okay, mind you, there were little kids in this school too, like little kids. And being a registered sex offender at that age, you know, like, hello, why are you sending him here where there's small children? Like, are you fucking retarded? And I'm not going to say that Faycon was a good school, because it was not. They hardly gave a fuck about anything. Kid you would have never thought. You know, real sweet, genuine. But he gave me a creepy ass feeling, you know? Like, bro, there's something off about you. So I asked the principal, I'm like, why is that kid here? And he's like, well, legally we're not allowed to hide it from anybody, and we can't not say anything. He's here because he is a registered sex offender. I'm like, what? What do you mean? How is a 16-year-old a sex offender? What did he do? And I guess he was like molesting his two little sisters. They were 4 and 7. Like, fuck, man. Some real sick bastards out there. I'd never understand how, you know, one's mind can work that way and think that something like that's okay. Nails are done. Hi, Penelope. Little baby Gil. You can make it. It's just a step. I have a step down living room. Because once again, I live in a trailer. It was a trailer built into a house. It's so sad that, you know, women can't just go and do what they want because men are fucking sick. Or we have to worry about us and our kids being kidnapped. I think that's every parent's worst fear. You hear the difference? That's how you know they're cured. I have no idea where my ring's at. That drives me insane. If something isn't even, I will file the fuck out of it until it is. Like my little Jenga, it's called Jami, because it's copyright. So instead of them being like miniature Jenga, it's called Jami. And like the fucking pieces were so fucked up. Like every time you would like try to push one, the whole thing would move. So I ended up individually filing each block, each side, and it was a pain in the ass up until, you know, you could slide them like you're supposed to. They just weren't built right. They weren't cut right. Some of them were uneven. The underside of this nail is what's gonna fucking agitate. And I also find it sickening how the fucking court system is just so fucking corrupt. Like, you know, you shoot somebody for coming on your property and you're trying to defend your family, you go to jail for murder. Like, maybe they shouldn't have been trespassing on private property and coming to threaten your family. Because, you know, the cops ain't gonna fucking do nothing about it. They never fucking do. And up until you take matters into your own hands, that's when the police will step in. No, you can get the fuck. I don't need you anymore. Literally. If I needed you, I'd have called you. But there's no point in calling the fucking police because they don't do anything. You know, maybe if they, you know, did their job like they were supposed to, protect and serve, not enforce and enslave, you wouldn't have so many people against the police and everything that they do. Like, I called Somerset because that's where we were. We were up in Somerset County, okay? And, we had a bit of an altercation between Fred's ex-whore and his cousin. Because his cousin just... he wants Fred to sign his rights over to his daughter. But that'll never fucking happen as long as there's breath in Fred's body. He will never give his rights up to Jaylynn, ever. The day he dies, maybe. Might be a possibility, but even then, probably not. Well, this fucking stupid whore waits 7 years before she fucking takes Fred for child support. Seven fucking years. 7 years. To take him for child support. And the only reason that she took him for child support is because Tyler fucking told her to. Now, whatever Tyler says, she does. She tried to blame her and Tyler separating on me and Fred. That is not our fucking problem, you dumb bitch. That ain't how that fucking works. You and your old man split up because your old man is a piece of fucking shit. Hi.
Did you make that call?
Honey, we already have.
Hi, Tweetums.
Why do I need to call?
Alan, the Feldman said
Good
you
morning.
may be able to get additional benefits with a Medicare Advantage plan right here in our zip code with $0 monthly premium.
Oh, Penny.
Honey, what do you mean additional?
You come with your
benefits?
mommy?
Turn 65, we got Medicare. That's all there is to it, right?
I'm talking about Medicare Part C.
Oh, my little bean. You want to watch some TV? I'll get you a Nini. Say hi. No. No, say hi. Where's the fucking remote? This is always a recurring fucking problem. My goddamn remote. One of the most lost remotes in fucking the world. Fucking Roku.
PBS Kids event, Daniel Tiger travels to new neighborhoods to meet new friends.
But Tyler wants Fred to give up his rights. And over Fred's dead body, will he give up his rights?
Funding for Curious George is provided by contributions to your PBS station. And from viewers like you, thank you.
But whatever Tyler tells her to do, she does. Take him for fucking child support. Okay? And what good's that gonna do you? None. Because guess what? We haven't paid it. And we're not going to. I have half a fucking mind to file charges on her for harassment. Because that's exactly what that is. She waited 7, almost 8 years to file for child support. And this is all because they know for a fact they can't force Fred to sign his rights over. And that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to threaten him with this, that, and the third, saying, oh, well, we'll be talking to an attorney. And every attorney they've ever talked to told them that, no, you can't force him to sign his rights over. If he doesn't want to sign his rights away, he doesn't have to. And that pissed him off. So their next step was to try and take him for child support. Like, that's going to stop him? Okay. And they act like it's such a crime that he wants to see his daughter. We haven't seen her since she was 6 years old. Whose fault's that, though? Hers. Because as long as she's not with Tyler, because they break up every other week. Now, when they're not together, she unblocks Fred. They talk about Jalen, they talk about, Fred coming to get Jalen, and I promise you the next time we get our hands on Jalen, they're not getting her back. Just for the record. Because if we had money for an attorney in court and all that, oh, dude. That little girl would be with me. Well, I used to get the kids every weekend. All of them. Fred's other 3 kids. I would get them every weekend so they could see each other. And in the summertime, I'd keep them for a couple days. You know, because I'm very patient. You know, I can deal with a large amount of kids. It doesn't bother me. Well, I dropped Parker off. I dropped Mackenzie off. And mind you, Parker is Jaylen's full brother. Like, same mom, same dad. But Kay doesn't have him. And here's why. When she found out that she was pregnant, okay, with Tyler's baby, Fred's cousin, when she found out she was pregnant, up until she found out it was a boy, she didn't want Parker anymore. And if it would have been a girl, Jaylen would be in the same fucking situation that Parker's in right now. Threw him away like garbage. Told Fred, you better come get your whiny little bitch son, or I'm fucking dropping him off on somebody's doorstep. Well, Fred and his other cousin, Sam, went and picked Parker up. In just a diaper. And he was screaming. And Sam was like, what's wrong, buddy? And he gave him his tea bottle. He was thirsty. If the stupid fucking whore would have gave him a bottle, he would have shut up. But instead, she's screaming at him, yelling at him. He has no clothes on. He is in just a diaper and a car seat. And she abandoned him. She had no contact with Carrie, Fred's cousin, for 6 months. No contact about Parker, about anything about him, nothing. Well, Carrie took it upon herself to get a hold of an attorney. And the attorney was like, well, has the mother had any contact for the last 6 months? And she's like, no, none. I can show you the last text message from 8 months ago. And I need his medical cards, I need his birth certificate, so I can take him to the fucking doctor and, you know, take him to the hospital if I need to, or get benefits for him, like food stamps, insurance, chip, whatever. Well, the attorney was like, all right, we'll get this in motion. Well, they did, they got it in motion, she adopted him. And Kay signed her rights over like it was nothing. She's like, okay, here you go. She's the definition of a piece of shit, and she shouldn't have any of her fucking kids. None of them. Because Jaylen, what child tells you, I don't want to go home. Mommy and Tyler are mean to me. They lock me in my bedroom. What? They do what? They lock me in my bedroom with Bubba, her younger brother. Tyler's kid. So we got in contact with CYS about that, and we're like, well, what can we do? And they're like, well, if you don't want to give her back, you don't have to. And the police can't do anything about it either, because there's no custody agreement. So, And there's still currently no custody agreement. So guess what? I don't have to do shit. So like I said, the next time we get Jaylen, if we ever get her, fucking Tucker. Skyly's torturing. But I dropped all the kids off. I went to take her home. Well, I was going to meet Kay and Tyler up at Miller's to pick her up, and I passed my driveway up because I live on the mountain, and I passed the driveway and was going around the corner, and there's a big wide spot on that corner that you can pull off on. Well, she started wailing, like screaming, crying. So I stopped the car and I pull over to the side, and I'm like, what's the matter? What's wrong? She's like, I don't want to go home. I want to stay with you and Daddy, and that right there was enough for me. So I called Fred. I'm bawling myself because she's explaining why she doesn't want to go home. So I called Fred, and he's like, just say, change of plans, we're keeping her. She doesn't want to come home. So that's what I did. And I messaged her, and I'm like, hey, Jay doesn't want to come home. I'm going to keep her for another couple of days. And of course, Kay's like, okay, cool, whatever, I don't care. And then a couple days later, Kay's like, oh, I need Jalen to come home now. And she screamed and cried then that she didn't want to go home. She genuinely did not want to be around them. Like, there's a fucking reason for that. Still to this day, I regret fucking sending her home because she'd still be here. If you want such a fucking asshole, you can stay outside. You meet everybody.
Good.
That's just my baby doggy. My baby doggy.
Wow, thank you so much. Oh, here's what I learned. Wanna read it?
You're so cute.
You spin and flip over the
You little tiny.
You say spin and flip. Nice. I'll swap with you. Alright, you already know the ending. Hang on. I'll get you another one.
There's just a lot of things that don't make sense to me.
He really likes the book. I found some books. Go ahead, take whatever you want.
Especially how fucking failed the system is. It's ridiculous. Uncalled for. And when I get this little lump sum of money that I'm going to be running into, I think I'm going to pay my truck up, a couple other bills that need taken care of, and I'm going to hire me a custody attorney. It's a menthol cigarette. It's like the only thing that fucking remotely hit the spot. I just can't stand this bitch. I really can't. When we were up in Somerset after the fucking child support hearing, Kay walked out because she didn't get what she wanted. Aww, that sucks. You don't always get what you want, whore. Well, I guess Tyler was mad about it too, which I really don't give a fuck. So he commenced to pull in front of my truck, try to back into it. He jumped out of his car and was trying to beat on my truck, which I really don't give a fuck. Okay, you go right on ahead. You beat on my truck. I don't give a damn. Well, he then pulls out in front of us, and he keeps hitting his brakes and stopping and swerving lanes so we couldn't get past him. He's lucky I wasn't the one driving because I don't give a fuck. I will play Demolition Derby. You want to fucking play like that, stupid? Okay, we'll play like that. I'll hit the fucking gas. I don't know what a brake pedal is. So, wait until they're behind me. Then we'll play the road rage game. I'll show you how it's really fucking played. I'm tired of fucking playing games with these fucking bum-ass bitches. You wanna call me and Fred bums, but yet we have nicer shit than they do. Sorry, oh, I'm sorry. We're getting married, not divorced. And them two stupid fucks were never married. Retarded. I just can't stand neither one of them. They're fucking both trash. I hate them. Trash is meant for trash. And that's exactly what they are.
Yeah, sure. Hey, Lucien, all wants invitation of the great pants.
Daddy, give me conversation with great plans. Who wants to read this with me? Got it.
My little baby doggy.
History of old lamps. This isn't what I asked for. Trenton. Get comfy. Okay.
Fred needs to hurry his ass up. And call his bitch ass.